Hey guys, so bringing you another video. Now, welcome to another Riot discussion, Riot please, or whatever. This seems to be something a little bit different. And the funny thing is, sorry, it's going to be a bit late. I was not here when this article got released. I just got back. I'm recording it. Literally, I've got back a couple hours ago and I'm recording it. I don't know when I'll be able to get this video out. I've slot it in somewhere. But the amount of people that have atted me about this article has been quite a lot. So there's something in here that obviously the title of the video is like, is Riot removing DUOQ or Riot's removing DUOQ? And we'll see what they say about it. But all I'll say is I don't really know what's going on. I want to see if this is written by Riot Axes, because that guy is new to the job and everything that he is doing, I don't know if he's like been a viewer of mine for years or something, because he's like, we're going to reduce the damage, we're reducing healing, that's actually happening next patch. They might be removing DUOQ, and I'm like, what the hell? Is it me? Is there a secret clone of me that has now taken the job or something? Because what's going on? So let's actually just see if it is Riot Axes. It's Riot Codebear and Riot Riru. So it's not Axes. So they're the product lead for competitive gameplay and behavioral systems and the patch note person. Okay, so it's not Riot Axes, but he might be involved in this partially. But let us get in and deep dive into what is Riot saying. So with the 2022 seasons of both Ranked and Clash underway, we wanted to take some time to talk about the state of competitive play as we see it today. Goals. As with every season, we'd like to continually review our goals and evaluate how we're tracking towards them. Specifically, for competitive play, we focus heavily on competitive integrity. Players have an even playing field in their competitive matches. That, I imagine, is a big reason why they might be looking to get rid of DUOQ, because DUOQ is such a big advantage. Progression opportunities. Players have meaningful goals to reach for, and team or organized play. Players are aware of and can participate in opportunities to play with others of similar intent and skill. So they might be separating ranked solo, and then you have your actual team play focused things. We evaluate these goals by reviewing player sentiment and other metrics such as match availability, time to queue, quality, are matches competitive and fair, and whether or not matches are compelling to participate in. Are they satisfying? Do they deliver on player intent? Or do they offer a sense of progression? Ultimately, we want to bring everyone a competitive game-filled opportunities that match their individual intent and expectations. To do this, we try to create experiences in the form of different game modes and mechanics that match your play intent and expectations. So, for example, Solo and DUOQ is all about creating a competitive environment to prove your mastery of League at an individual level, which again, maybe that's where DUOQ isn't about that, while Clash is there to test your mettle as a team. Both experiences have their strengths and weaknesses, but are generally going in the direction we've been targeting. Let's dig in. So what's happening now? So we have some clear issues with our overall matchmaking and queue health that we want to address early in the season. These include the following updates. Revival MMR. We found that our current systems aren't as accurate as we'd hope in maintaining the expected MMR of players that have taken a break from the game. Oh, this is quite big because I've had so many viewers going, hey, I'm back into ranked and I'm in Smurf queue, help. What can I do? And I'm like, nothing. Just play and then hopefully it works out you're not a Smurf. Be it a few weeks or a year plus, as such, we're implementing a more dynamic approach to revival MMR and MMR decay across all queues that should provide those players with fairer matches in their first 5 to 10 games back, as they rediscover their muscle memory and game knowledge. So this is kind of saying that, like, oh, they're not as good as they used to be, but maybe their MMR is keeping them at a high level already. Or it's like the example I gave. I'm back into the game, and after 2 games, I'm doing okay, but it's put me in a Smurf queue, and now I'm getting destroyed. But I've not played for 2 years. I'm not also a Smurf. So that's good that they're doing something about that, because, you know, there are players that are returning to the game. I've actually had a fair amount of people on stream recently kind of go, hey, Huz, I'm back. You know, remember me? And it's a viewer from like 2 or 3 years ago. Maybe people with the pandemic couldn't play League also, because League is a bit of a kind of game, which that makes sense. Boosting evaluation. Ooh. DUOQ boosting? We addressed some boosting issues late last year, but we're still not happy with the current state of the game here. Looking at ranked flex queue in particular, which, yeah, is like, that is the boost queue. If you want the ranked awards, you just queue up with a booster, you know, duoing, tri queue, or even a full man pre-made, and, well, a really good player could have a whole team of silver players, and one diamond plus player in flex can get all of those people to gold, like in flex queue. That's just easy. Play a hyper carry champion, they build supporty champs, easy peasy, right? We saw with low MMR and high MMR combined pre-mades that abused MMR discrepancy and account sharing to rapidly boost accounts to where they didn't belong. We addressed this in the short term by restricting the top tier players to only playing with other accounts of similar ranks. We acknowledge there's a lot more we should do here, and we plan on working directly with our anti-cheat team to identify solutions that we hopefully improve integrity of ranked flex queue. So again, it's mainly for ranked flex queue is the easiest place to boost people if someone wants to like have a reward, a border, or, you know, for a lot of people, it's like, oh, what rank are you? Like, vast majority of people that get boosted, even I think Riot has maybe said this years ago, so maybe I think it still holds true, is young people. It's they have the social, for whatever reason, they feel that there's that social pressure on them. If you know, you're all in secondary school or high school and you're the bronze guy, but everybody else is like gold, you don't want to be the bronze guy. So a lot of those type of people are the ones that actually get boosted. They're using their money that they have as a teenager to pay hundreds to get boosted to diamond or something. And when you just say, oh, what's your rank in league? You'll just say, oh, I'm diamond. You're not going to be like, I'm diamond flex. Like, a lot of people miss that part out. They'll just say, I'm diamond. And it's like, oh my God, you're diamond. Amazing. So that is part of the problem. Challenges launch. We're getting close to the launch of challenges. It's been a complex project, with its own unique challenges. Pun definitely intended. We are happy with how expansive we've been able to make it and excited to roll out to players globally. We're currently planning for the challenges to go patch in 12.9. So we've just got on to patch 12.5, I want to say, I think. They have said that 12.6 is not coming for a month. So we're a few months away from challenges. And just to remind people what those are, that is like the kind of big achievement system that they're putting in League of Legends that is free. That's what Riot has said. And it's going to be able to give your profile a more individual feel, that you'll be able to display certain challenges that you've done that other players haven't, and you'll be able to have like a themed profile of your achievements. So that's good. And so that said, the launch of challenges is just the beginning. We plan to continually invest in leveling up challenges so it lives up to our vision as a robust progression experience for all league players. So again, it's in essence, what is challenges? It's another take on mastery. So champion mastery was implemented in the game, honestly, for like lower ranked players, that they may never be a diamond player, but they could be a mastery 7 player on a player, or they could be a million mastery. Like, again, generally it might sound bad, but if you ever see someone in a YouTube comment section like quoting their mastery, they're never going to be a high rating player, because if they were a high rating player, they'd be like, I'm a diamond Victor player or something. Generally, the people that go, I'm a 500,000 Victor player, is going to be a silver Victor player, but they're using that mastery as their kind of like, this is my definition of I know what I'm doing. So that's what that was for. This is kind of a new version of that. It's again to give you that identity that might not be I'm a higher rating player, but I've got all these challenges complete. And again, I'm completely for it. I'm fine with it. I just always like, even with mastery, I don't want people to get confused that mastery does not equal skill. Mastery does not equals you know what you're doing at all. Challenges is going to be the same, but it's nice that people will be having something to work for that's not just ranked. So I do think it's cool. Ranked queue health and the pre-made problem. From a high-level viewpoint, solo duo is currently one of the healthiest states we've ever seen. Autofill is at its lowest ever global rate, hovering between 0.5 and 3% of player games. Queue times are at a 2-year low in many large regions and hovering firm in our small regions. Lastly, MMR accuracy is strong, where 99% of players are playing with those with a maximum of 2 divisions of their rank with steady win prediction accuracy to back it up. I will say, I'm right now, I don't know when I'm uploading this video, but let's just say I'm in Diamond 2 on EU West. I very often have Diamond 4s in my games now, but I also have Diamond 1s in my games. So for me, it's true. Like, oh, you know, 2 divisions below Diamond 2 is Diamond 4. And then technically I could be above and there could be a master player, and that still holds true. It's within 2 divisions. But it's not true that there's a Diamond 4 in the game and a Diamond 1 in the game. They are actually too far apart. So That's just my personal experience with it, but yeah, maybe. Again, the higher rating you go, there's less players to choose from, so it does make this probably harder for the higher ratings, so that is worth knowing. That said, we do see issues with solo DUOQ that consistently point out, our accommodation of pre-made duos. This directly adds quality and population of volatility into the matchmaking mix. It causes games with duos of imbalanced MMR to impact our autofill secondary roll rates, sometimes double the chances. Queue times, 10-second increase of players per game on average, and most importantly, game quality metrics. This is the big one. Upwards of a 10% win rate spread in both directions. So this is the great example of there's many players that, I've said it for years, there's a lot of players that only are in ranks because they've duo-queued, because they're kind of just getting, let's say, nudged along. There's another word for it that begins with B and ends in oosting, but generally people are kind of like being tugged along and they would never achieve certain ranks. They're only achieving those ranks because DUOQ exists. That's what Riot is saying here. Basically, they're trying to say it in a nice way. On the flip side, we have started to see a significant decline in the health of ranked flex queue, where queue times, 7 minutes on average for 3-person parties, and match quality is 2 to 4 division discrepancies between teams. Again, Riot said, as you saw before, they want maximum 2. So that's a lot bigger. Have diverged significantly. The ironic thing here is that the total population in ranked flex remains healthy, but the pre-made distribution and makeup of that population has shifted to a point where it's difficult to make matches at the quality bar we'd like. The root of this cause of this is a high number of 3-person parties that want to play together, with not enough 1s and 2s. Again, who's playing 1s in flex? But not enough 1s and 2s to fill out these. Solo duo players can just opt to play a different game mode. So yeah, you can go play solo duo instead of playing flex. So that's maybe why they're actually looking to get rid of duo. It's to help flex queue, maybe? This can cause those matchmaking envelopes to expand to a point where queue times and quality expectations cannot reconcile. Additionally, the difficulties making quality matches for our most popular pre-made size, which is the 3s, amplify the impact of disruptive actors in the queue, like boosters, who queue as duos with their boostee. Again, it's the most common form of boosting in League nowadays. It's not, honestly, like the days of some, like an actual booster going on your account and playing on your account. That isn't really done anymore. Why? Because that's illegal. Like that would get your account banned if you're found out. It's not technically illegal in the Riot rules to just duo with somebody on a Smurf. You're on your main account, they're on a Smurf. You both climb very fast because you're getting duo boosted. That's not against the rules. Like technically, it's not. You're just duoing with somebody, but it is boosting. And the account sellers. So that's the bigger one. Also, is the way of how it works is the booster will be on a fresh account and they're duoing with the boostee. They rank both of the accounts up very fast. So the person that's duoing, he gets boosted to a great account. He's playing on his own account. He's fully within the rules, technically. But then the account that the booster is on, he will then sell that account because he doesn't want that account anymore. If it's got to diamond or whatever, he then sells that account. But that is against the rules. So that's kind of part of the problem. Such as the queue itself overall becomes unhealthy, especially at the top level. To put it simply, our inability to match pre-mades in a compatible way is a detriment to the system that doesn't have a path to get back to being healthy without significant change. In the past, when we saw this, we attempted to resolve these issues by merging both queues together dynamically, which was awful. That was dynamic queue. With the learnings of dynamic queue, which we will not be revisiting because that was one of the worst things that Riot ever did. Because, like, again, that was the worst thing ever for a solo player. I'm a solo League of Legends player. That's what I do. If ever I'm duoing, which obviously I have in the past with, like, Vixie and stuff, that is just fun for me. That isn't competitive. That's just fun. And that is in my mind what it is. Because some people, like, here, if they do get rid of duo queue in the main ranked mode, some people are going to be like, dude, that's my rank queue. Huz, do you not care about people that play with friends in solo duo? I completely respect solo, like playing with friends. Like, it's a video game, you should have fun with friends. But that is where there is the separation of this is the competitive ranked queue. To me, that shouldn't be a duo experience. That should be the solo ranked experience. And then what they're looking at, what I'm guessing they're doing, is putting duo queue in flex. if you want to play with your friends, there is still a ranked mode to go play with your friends. That exists. It's not like they're taking that away. So that's maybe what they're doing. But anyway, a deeper understanding of player intent now. So we know that's not going to work. So what do we do? So here we go. What we're investigating, solo only mode. In order to match player intent and provide the healthiest competitive individual queue as possible, we're reevaluating our take on solo duo and exploring a world where solo players play in solo queue and pre-made players play in ranked flex or organized fives modes. On paper, the system health and quality indicators look really good. For example, in solo queue only, we would expect an even further decrease in autofill and secondary rates. Queue times would decrease by up to 5% for 99% of players, 99.9. Win rate advantages due to team disparities would vanish completely. Boosting would be eradicated. We would expect between team and within team MMR of for 99% of players to be within one division. So it's going less than its current 2. So it's bringing in the game quality. Rank during the peak hours. And in addition, for flex queue would be an increase in the queue population, drastic improvements to match quality, significant decrease in queue times for the parties of 3, because then the duo players are making up the difference. Increase in overall match quality and competitiveness, and increased opportunity for group/organized play. Everything is a positive. The negative, obviously, what is the negative? If you're a duo player, you want to play ranked solo duo because that's the main mode that everybody judges skill off. You now can't duo. That is the disadvantage. Never going to disadvantage someone like me who's a solo player, but it's going to disadvantage if you're a duo player. That's the thing. All that said, we absolutely want to be confident that our duo population, which is a fairly significant size, can still find a competitive environment before making any large changes to the current systems. What I will, it's going to be no surprise here. Every single duo player is going to be against this. Like, why would they not be? Every duo player likes to think of themselves as a pretty good player. They're not there because they duo. They're there because they deserve to be there. So they wouldn't want this. Which I would say it would be very interesting to me that if the average duo player that gets the higher rating, would they still get there now as if they have to play pure solo? Because what I would say, I'm not opposed to people playing occasional duo. That's fine. Like, do it. If you want to play occasional duo, but I'm more against the people that only play duo. That's the people that I think are the people that make ranked a bit is the only duo players, because what I will just say is their playstyle is not solo ranked. They are not solo ranked players. They are duo ranked players. Their playstyle is about duoing. It's not about their solo skill. Like what Riot said right at the beginning of the article is solo is supposed to be your individual quality, individual skill. If you're only a duo player, you're not doing that. You're playing in a way that is for duo queue. That is a difference. And you can still do that in ranked flex queue. That's what Riot is trying to make the point here. Is like, you can still duo, go do it in flex queue, and the solo players can kind of have solo. I will say, I've even said before, I never thought that Riot was ever going to do this. So this is actually kind of insane for me. So yeah. All that said, we absolutely confident in our... Right. We're approaching this topic seriously and with care, and we'll provide an update further on in the year on if it's an area we can realistically move forward with. Additional areas of focus include reevaluating our queue portfolio. We believe a healthy competitive system is far more than just ranked modes. It also includes other game modes like normals and ARAMs. Because again, most people, if the statistic is still true, more people play normal than they do ranked. I think that is still probably true. This means that in order to keep the game healthy, it's important to continually revisit your other game modes on a regular basis. We get to ask ourselves, what do changes that make our non-ranked queue players as healthy as possible look like? Opportunities like, what does blind pick look like if we guarantee you can get the champion you want to play and not have to fight for it in champ select? How do the compelling and strategic aspects of Clash expand to something that's readily available and accessible for all players, yet still engaging for those that like to play with a pre-made fives team? How can we better connect esports with the general public's play aspirations? How can we put efforts like Champions Queue, obviously that new thing with NA, be integrated into core game for a larger player base in the future? So they might be thinking, oh, the challenger players, we can have them as a separate queue, or like the way that I would do it doesn't work for really any other way. It could work, I don't know, depends on the ping. EU Northeast and EU West have basically identical ping. They're next door neighboring countries. I think I've got 21 ping on EU West, 22 ping on EU Northeast. Why don't they do like a combination of in Master and above? You can qualify for a Champions queue here in Europe for both servers. They mesh. Like, I know people are like, oh, the quality difference on EU Northeast compared to EU West is quite grand. But that would be the point, is like, it's a place for these servers to come together and really kind of test that. That would be kind of interesting. You could do the same in America, kinda. Of like, I don't know, again, don't know the ping issues, but like the NA server, the Latin South America server, maybe you can mesh them. I don't know. But yeah, further expanding progression with the launch of challenges coming soon. We're hoping to take stock of the health and of our overall progression system. The intent here is to evaluate the impact of how a broader progression system affects the health of the game. Our expectation is that players who feel that they have meaningful progression options outside of ranked won't be forced to take part in competitive queues. That's what I mentioned. That's why they're doing these type of achievements. It's the challenger system. It's mastery. You're getting a sense of progression. You're getting a sense of achievement that isn't just your rank. That's what mastery is for. That's what this is what challenges are for, which is good. It's good to give people like that kind of sense of achievement, even if it's not ranked. So if we find that play patterns for players include more variety for the majority of the players, that we can start to focus more on perfecting exciting new features or for specific subsets of players that create stronger and more unified set of game systems long term. So basically, if they can identify, oh, this area is missing from the challenges, people would enjoy that, they can just implement that area, and that's pretty good. What you might expect to see progression options that span into rotating game modes, exciting annual events, and potentially even other core games like Teamfight Tactics. We're excited to take a deeper look into League systems and queues to provide the healthiest long-term vision of League that is both competitive and engaging. As always, see you on the Rift. So this is very exciting to me, and why Riot's probably doing this is just to see what the general like feedback is going to be like. And let's be honest, again, put your opinion down below. It's literally just going to be there's going to be a few camps. There's going to be people that don't care because they're not ranked players. That's fine. But then there's only really going to be two camps in this. The people like me that absolutely love this idea. Oh my God, I'm 99.9999% of the time, I'm a solo player, and it would increase ranked integrity. It would make people have to achieve it themselves, which is a lot harder. Everything is positive for a solo queue player. There is no negative in that duo queue is going. That's the point. For a solo player, there's not one negative that duo would go away. The opposite exists for duo players. That's the problem, is you've got the solo players that are going to be ecstatic about this potential, and then you're going to have the duo players that are probably pooping their pants, because if you're only a duo player, then your whole, like, how you've climbed for many years potentially is potentially going away. Like, that's the thing. You could have had the same duo partner for 5 years, and then suddenly you guys can't duo anymore. So that's going to be scary for a lot of players. And obviously, I will say, I would empathize for people like that. You know, that's the point. I would empathize, but it's not like you never can play with each other again. What Riot's looking to do is, solo players, you guys have solo queue, and if you are that kind of hardcore duo players, flex queue is now your queue. With this change, by the way, the only problem is, would it make flex queue better? Yes, it would, technically, but there would still be, let's just say, how do I word it? The elitism, that if you're diamond in solo queue and you're diamond in flex, well, there's a big difference there. That will always exist. Like, that's never going to go away. That is just a fact. It's never going to. So for these kind of, like, let's say the hardcore duo players, that like the high diamond players who duo, they won't want to go in flex queue because the queue for ranked is solo. That's the problem. So that's the problem you're going to have. Riot right now is going to be having a lot of people praising it, and they're going to have a lot, and arguably, I would say Riot now in the next few days, they're going to be obviously on social media, especially on Reddit or whatever, they're going to have a lot of opinions being thrown at them. I reckon they're going to have a lot more negative opinions thrown at them about this than positive, because people like me who's positive about it, I'm making a video, but if I wasn't making a video, would I really say anything about it? Would I tweet about it? Would I be on Reddit about it? No. that's the thing with like people that oppose things. They're more likely to make a fuss because they oppose it, right? That makes sense. So they're the ones that, you know, like restaurants, you're more likely, if you don't like a place, you're going to leave a negative review. If you liked it, you're not really going to say it. You'll be like, oh, that was good, and then you'll move on with your life. If you hated the restaurant, you're going to give it a bad review on TripAdvisor or something. That's kind of the point. Is Riot, could they be at the moment getting so much barrage of duo players saying never do this, I'd quit the game, that they might get scared on not doing it, potentially? And that's the thing, would people genuinely quit the game? Would somebody who is a hardcore duo player, would they quit League of Legends over this? Maybe, there's a chance. But what I would also ask is how many of you who are, and I've had it before, how many of you have stopped playing ranked because you've got annoyed about duo players before? That there's a population of player there that also exists. Would those players come back to playing ranked again because, oh, it is the solo experience? I'd wager there also would be. So the way that I would say about this is Riot, if they want to go ahead and do this, they basically have to either, the duo players will become solo players, or Riot have to try really hard to try and kind of put flex queue on the same kind of pedestal, if you will, as solo. Go, no guys, it is a really competitive queue or something like that. And hell, they could do something crazy with it. They could do a prize. When they launch this, you know, with Champions Queue's got a $400,000 prize. Why didn't they do like a crazy prize or something? Or like, not like even cash prize, like they used to do Challenger backpacks, right? Remember those? The Challenger backpacks. If you got Challenger, you got a backpack. Maybe they do like a medal if you got Challenger or high rating in Flex. Someone just subscribed and I'm not streaming. Thank you, whoever that was. I'll actually check because I can't actually check right now. But that's the point, is maybe give a prize to Flex Queue, because then you'll raise the profile of it instantly and people might care a bit, going, oh, there's a prize over there. And honestly, don't even give it for solo queue. The solo queue doesn't need it. That's the point. So very interesting topic. I'd be very interested to hear what you guys think down below. As I'm guessing, I think it's going to be pretty divisive. Solo players are going to be really happy about it. Duo players are really not going to be happy about it. Well, the person that I'd be the most interested in is the occasional duo player. If you're, let's say, 50% of the time you duo, what do you think? That's the person that I'd actually be interested to know, because the other two groups are easy to know. That's pretty obvious. But if you occasionally duo, but you also play solo, what do you think? Let me know. But that is going to be it. Like, if you're the occasional duo player, would Flex Queue just fill that kind of, if you have that need of, I want to play with friends in ranked occasionally, would then Flex Queue be fine for that? Is that kind of, would that then feed that mentality, and then solo queue is for your hardcore individual try-hard experience? Don't know. Let me know. But that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy the video, do throw a like on it, throw a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our glory to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal power. Lead us to